Okay, we got our rods done here, so they're all honed out now. At least roughed in. I got 1.5 thou more to go at least, or 1 thou, 1.5 thou. So after you get these all honed round and true and straight and close to what you need, we already got the pin size done over here. So now it's time to see if the rod is straight. So we use our rod aligning machine over here to check it. So basically, just put it over in the clamp. Some expanding mandrels, all that is. Put your wrist pin in there. And you put your little doggy on there. Now the doggy sits against a flat plate. If the rod's bent like that, you got a gap. If it's twisted, you got a gap like that. If it's like that, you're not in the right far end. You got to move it in further. So ideally, you want all three surfaces to be contacting the plate equally at the same time. Then we take the rod out, turn it 180, put it back in, and do it again. It should repeat. If it doesn't repeat, then you got a little bit of an error. It usually doesn't repeat exactly, but it'll be within about 5 thou or so. It's pretty close. So we want to see what we got right now. This one here has a little bit of a twist in it. So I got a little more of a gap on this side over here, so I got to pull it toward me a little bit here. So you do a little bit of a twist like that, a little bit down, center it up again. Good. Reset it up, check it again. And that did nothing. It's got a good rod, it's got a lot of stretch, twist, or a lot of spring in it. So just work on it a little bit harder. Did make a little bit of a gain on it. Still need more. I need to go down too, like that. Now we jiggle it back and forth to kind of reset the rod up, recenter it, get the molecules more happy with each other. Okay, that one looks pretty good now. A little bit more, it looks like. It's pretty close. Nope, went too far that time. Guess I didn't need it that last one. Oh yeah. We'll bend back usually quicker than we go away, so they have a memory. Oh boy, yeah, I got a memory alright. Back real fast. The wristband has a little more clearance than a new one would be, so we'll get a little bit of a movement from that. Plus it's a real short wristband, so know exactly where we're at. Even. Check it the other way. Small gap on the bottom. sliding off the wrist pin. Here's my problem. The wrist pin's so short, I'm sliding off the end here, and this thing had a gap like that, and I didn't catch it, so it's giving me a false number on the rod where to put it. The wrist pin's a little on the short side. So modern wrist pins are really short. Old ones are like this long. So keep making them shorter and shorter and lighter and lighter. Problem is that screwing around my tool here a little bit. Get this thing stabilized. Quit being a dumbass and use it correctly, it would help. Close. Just a little bit more. We have all the twist out, we just got to get the bend out of it. I don't think that did anything. This is the easy rod. Front rod is the nail rod, little thin one is even less reliable than this one. Okay. Let's get a bit of an air gap on the bottom. Keeps bending back, it's just flexing. So at some point it's going to move a ton. Yeah, it just moved. Not a ton, but it went twice what I wanted to do. Now I'll have to bend it back this other way a little bit. Yep. We'll go like this. Manual method. Sometimes it doesn't take a lot. Close. Too much on the top again. Keep going back and forth, back and forth. Maybe it's late. That's the problem. The fact that it's past midnight when the next day doesn't have anything to do with it, does it? Yeah, I'm sure that wouldn't affect me any. Pretty damn good that way. Probably still just a tick too much this way a bit. It's good. I think I can live with that. Okay, now we do the next one here. This one has just a tick of twist in it. Yep. A little bit more that way, a little bit down this way. pretty damn good that way. Pretty good. Alright. So that's what a set of straight rods look like. Now I'm going to show you what a bent rod looks like. Okay, this is a bent rod. This is a straight rod. So can you see the difference? Rods are being held straight right now. See how they're cocked differently? This one has a big twist in it. Okay, this one I got marked bad. Okay, we're going to show you what this looks like on the machine. Okay, you don't have to be a have very good eyes to see this one's really bad. So straight up and down, you can see how it's going like this. It's not over here where it belongs. Okay, now this is our Evo pin. Okay, that fits on there too, look at that. Okay, so now you can see how this is not square at the bottom over here. See how this is going this way and this is twisted way over here. Side view. It looks like it's relatively straight this way, but when we put the little doggy up on there, this wrist pin's a little on the short side. This is bent so much I can't, I'm too close here to, I'm hitting over here. I'll put my camera back over here for a minute. Move this out further. Change out my wrist pin also. The longer one there. Put an Evo big twin one in there. So here's the new style pins and here's an old style pin. See the difference in length? This is stock Evo, this is Y-scope pistons. It makes it harder to support this when you have a little short pin. See, it doesn't support it all the way. Okay, now we got a good. Okay, now you see how right now, if you look in here, we're hitting right here in the back wall over here. Up in here, we got a big gap in there, and then down here we got a humongous gap. We put my finger in there, see? So the rod is bent considerably. So this needs to be bent back. Now what we got to do is figure out where the rod is actually bent at. Now this tool here will bend it wherever you put it. So if it's bent down low, you put it here. Now this one you can see how it's bent way up here on the top. Way up here. Even above where I'm at this way. As you can see it's bent a little bit over through here too. You can see it. So you can see this side of the beam over here. Yet on this side you can't see the other half unless you walk way over here and you can see it. So that tells you it's bent. From about here up it's bent. So that means we can take this tool and put it right on top of it and bend it quite a bit. So you go like this here and you bend it a little bit. Problem is I'm moving my tool here. Tighten that up again. And we do that again. This is going to be, should be done with two hands, but so here's the top view here. I give it a big jerking action there to give it a big twist. Okay, tripping on something on the floor. Okay, move that back up. Tighten that up again. Okay, and we come back over here and look at it again. kind of get an idea where the rod is at now. So now, you can still see a little bit of the rod right to there. You're pretty good. The other side, you come back until you do it, and it's pretty straight looking now. If I look in that direction, okay, you put the doggy back up on here again. All we did was twist it. So what effect did we have? Okay, we're now touching here. We got a little bit of a gap down there, and we still got our gap here. So as we bring this in, it's getting better and better. But it looks like we're going to have to go slightly down as we're going this way here. You can see it's still pretty far off here, just by eyeballing it. Alright, so I'm going to put the camera down so I can go over here and use the tool like I need to use it. Okay. I like to overbend them a little bit. And come back on it. Now right now it's about straight. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a little extra. And I come back on it like that. And like that. There we go. You always want to overbend it and come back. That way you're trying to get rid of that memory of it being bent way the hell over. Trying to get it back to the old memory where it was good. So now you look at it. See how it looks pretty straight down to here. Move it off center, you can see it's pretty equal here and here. Look at it from the other view. It's pretty equal again. Okay. This view here, it still looks relatively straight there. Okay, now you go ahead and put your doggy back up on here. And you look at your doggy. So we're hitting up here on the top still. But look at our down below. We actually have a little more gap on this side than this side now. So we're a little bit overbent. So we need to bring it back here just a little bit more, and we definitely need to bend it down. So come back on here like that. So you get a little bit of angle here. And you get a little bit of this crap. You come back on a little bit. And we got to come back this way a little bit, in the direction our bend was before. It wobbles back and forth. Whoop. See, when you go like this, you're twisting the rod back and forth, trying to make it lose its memory. Put this back down again. Got a two-handed operation over here, and I need three. Okay, so now let's go see what we did over here. Okay, let's see what we got now. Okay, looks like we're still got to bend it down, but our 2 feet now are pretty darn equal. So we just haven't bent it down enough yet. So it needs to be bent down quite a bit. Now let's look at the rod and see if we got any kind of an S bend going on in here. It looks like it's pretty straight. You can see where it's bent right here over. See, it's like that right in here. You can see it. But it looks like the rod itself now is pretty straight. It's not doing an S like this as it's going up. It looks like it's pretty even, which is what you want to see. You don't want to bend it too much in one spot. Okay, so now we're going to have to give this a pretty good tweak this way because it's not figuring out what it wants to do. The problem is most of the twisting action is down in here, not up here where it belongs, which is kind of a negative. Put the camera down for a second right here. Okay, now let's see what we got here on the dog. Okay, looks like we finally got it. We're pretty close now, look at that. You see there's a little bit of a gap over here now. Whoa, don't drop the doggy. I'm not going to be able to replace him. The light really screws my eyes right now, but yeah, it looks like we're hitting on these two here, and I got a little bit of a gap over here. So I'm going to twist that a little bit. Okay, so let's go back over here. Let me get to use all my hands now. It works a lot easier when I can actually use both hands. Okay, where's my gap? My gap is this way, I think. Nope. If it was, it's now the other way. Damn, that thing moves easy. Close. Problem with bending is you lose some, the rod loses memory and loses a little bit of the strength. That's why you don't want to really be doing this stuff to rods like this. It's bending pretty easy. It's like an aftermarket set of rods now. It bends easy. This makes it hard to get right because I'm over bending it. Doesn't want to square up. So we're side to side, we're doing good. You know, it's even up and down. The problem is we're hitting up here in the top and the two bottom down here we have a gap. So trying to get the camera where you can kind of see it, but yeah, we have a little bit of a gap on the bottom here. So I'm just trying to get that to square up a little bit, so I got to keep bending it toward me here, but the rod doesn't want to, it keeps springing back. It's got a good memory where it is right now, and I got to break its memory. Now the side to side was fairly easy to bend, but it's even right now. The problem is this way here, it doesn't want to square back. So I bent it pretty good that time. Let's see if it actually held the bend this time. Okay, it did actually hold the bend. And now I'm going to bring it back up a little bit. So you overbend it and then you come back on it. Yeah, it came back real fast. No, I'm still going back up. No, it didn't come back yet. Yes. I need to turn the rod around actually. Tools bottoming on the machine. Here it's coming back. Okay, it looks like it came back that time. Okay, we're pretty even. Let me recenter it down there and see if it's holding adjustment now. Okay, that change on us a little bit. Try it again. Time looks good. Turn 180 degree around, check again. It's pretty damn even. So that's straight. Okay, so now look at it this way. Everybody's touching equal here. All three fingers seem to be hitting. Look over here, you can see the fingers. You can rotate them a little bit. Even if you rotate them, they should stay flat against the surface there. No matter where you put this thing, it should be flat. So that's what you want to see. So I don't know if the camera really sees this, but it's kind of hard to get it over here. We can see like see, I got to get right on the edge to see it. But anyway, it's nice and straight now. And if you look at the beam looks pretty straight. And you'll see there's no S curves in it or anything, and obviously this direction here too. So that's how you straighten the rod up. So this machine works the best. This is an old KOLE deal here. This is from probably from the 50s, definitely from the 60s. Dad was using this thing back in the early 60s, so I'm guessing it's probably from the 50s. Usually he dates his stuff with it. He got it. Here you go. April 11 of 63, 65, whatever year that. Whoop. Get over here. So that's when he bought the thing. He always marked his stuff. So that's when he bought it. It was used. I'm sure it was used, but it might have been new, but who knows. It's at least that old. Alright, so anyway, that's how you straighten the rod. Works pretty good. Like I said, this set here was, I straightened this set up already here. Like I said, on the Harley, this is the other rod that goes in between like that. So this one's all straight too. So anyway, that's what you want to do. You want to make sure they're straight. Now this rod is going to be relatively weak in this direction like this. It was bending kind of easy. This direction here had a lot of spring in it, so that was good. But this way here is kind of flexible. We can let this sit for a while and then see if if it takes a different memory, goes back to being bent or what. If you vibrate these things on a vibrating table, it would stress relieve it, and it would take most of the stress out of it. But anyway, when you have a rod like bent that bad, it's not the strongest thing in the world anymore. But the Harley aftermarket rods are really weak, and this is basically like a Harley rod, I would say now, in that one direction. The other way is still stronger, but so it's not something I really want to recommend using. But that shows you how you straighten it. Now this here is an expanding mandrel down here. That's how this works. These have different sleeves that you can get to go on here. So this goes in between tapers right here. That's what it does. Now this one here I made because it's nice and tight. I got a real tight fit on the thread. So it's only got a few thous, so it stays concentric pretty good. The original one on there had a lot of slop in it. I wasn't able to repeat very well. It kept changing every time I put the damn thing on there. Over the years, you'll have to come back and regrind the surface here because it gets all these grooves in it, just from wear. I've recut this once. That was 20. I did that when I moved down here, so I did that probably about 15 years ago. It wasn't repeating very good, so I fixed it. So when your tools don't work good, you fix them. So I fixed it by making this tool here. The original one was over here someplace. I leave stuff playing around. I don't see it over here, but oh well. Now if you had it on a block on a car, you would use this on the piston. So this was a piston. This was up against the piston. It was square, and you use this here as your squaring tool. I'm not exactly sure what you sight off of, but I've never used it. Obviously Dad used it. You can see the marks on it. I'm assuming this is a relatively flat surface. It would sit on top of your block on your car. And would that do that? I don't know if that would work. No, it wouldn't stick up high enough. I'm not sure how they use that on a thing. No instruction manual, so I don't know. I'd have to start using it and try to figure it out. But anyway, the Harley ones I use work great, so I'm good with them. These are the original tools that they had. And we made this one here because it fits the Harley. And it's a lot stronger. This one doesn't bend. It goes on the rod and it fits good and tight. So it fits in the rod right here pretty tight, pretty good. You can still see the wear over the years. When they went to those big H-beam rods, we had to use this because it was just too damn narrow to work correctly. It's actually bending the rods in on the H-beam. So this here doesn't have that problem. So we just made new tools. So if it doesn't work, make the damn thing. So like I said, whenever you have problems, you fix stuff. Like this thing here, I broke this off last week, so I made a new one. It turns my taper in and out. So this is a truing stand for flywheels. But anyway, so that's how you do the rod straightening. So there's other ways of doing it, but this is the way you do it if you're a machine shop. So, but you always want to make sure your rods are straight. Bent rods are not good. So anyway, that's how you do it.